Good day, Admiral. I'm here to run you through the basics of the interface you will be using to control the carrier. Let's begin with controlling the camera. Use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. To rotate the view around the carrier, move the mouse. Perfect. Next, I'll cover moving the vessel. We begin by setting a waypoint. Please click the tactical map icon. This is the tactical map menu. Next, click your intended destination on the map. Vantage Point 1, our current goal, is highlighted here. Perfect. Our course is set. Click the exit button to close the tactical map menu. To get moving, we must now start the engines. Click the carrier speed icon, then click the desired speed to begin moving our fleet. Please select slow. Higher speeds are unavailable for now.
Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Dead slow ahead the engines.
We're moving. For the time being, we must wait for our strike group to reach its destination. You can control the speed of the ongoing action using the speed controls in the bottom right corner of the screen.
Who is that? Is that me? Whee! All right.
Excellent. We have reached our first destination. Traveling the seas depletes our resources. When we are out of supplies, the carrier can still continue moving, but we cannot deploy any aircraft. We will discuss the finer points of variables relating to supply use later. To resupply the carrier, you must give the order. To get started, open the order menu by clicking the icon below. Next, please click the resupply ship icon. You must now assign officers to the order. You can now confirm. Now we must wait for the resupply procedure to reach completion. Let me remind you, Admiral, that you can use the time speed controls to speed up the action while we wait.
Baby.
Excellent. Perhaps we should increase our speed for the journey toward our next destination. To do so, we will need more crew assigned to our navigation department. Click this menu. You can manage onboard personnel assigned to each department. Drag and drop 2 additional crew units to the navigation department. The walking animation indicates that they are still in the process of taking their position. You can also increase the speed of this action using the time speed controls. The units are in position. You can now close the crew management menu, sir. With the increased manpower in the navigation department, we can now reach maximum speed. Click the carrier speed icon and select full. Next, we must set our course. Open the tactical map and click our fleet. There is land between us and our destination, so we cannot travel as the crow flies. But we can plot a course of up to 3 waypoints by clicking on a series of points, ending with our destination. Right-click a waypoint to remove it.
I did it. That wasn't too bad. Okay, I think I might be getting the hang of this. Not really.
Admiral, we have received information about an unidentified object some distance from here. I recommend that we carry out a reconnaissance. And this view shows the island where you and your officers coordinate the ship's operations. Each room provides a facility called a switch for carrying out 3 functions. Each room switch can only be set to enable 1 function at a time. Set the switch in the meteorology room to add 1 times recon mission.
Hot full focus now. On the double.
Okay, how do I do this?
Click the Combat Information Center, CIC, to send an officer there. In this case, yourself, Admiral. An officer will be temporarily unavailable while moving between rooms. When you reach CIC, set the room switch to add 1 time. Now we can find out more about the information we received by opening the tactical map menu. Here you can see the location of the unknown object, represented by a marker. Next, we must enter the deck view. Here you can prepare the aircraft for dispatching on missions. Click the plus icon and select dive bombers to position a squadron on the... Click the plus icon and position a second squadron of dive bombers, sir.
Did I just look my setup?
Missions currently available for execution are shown in the available section of the missions panel below. Hover over the highlighted recon icon and click the prepare button. Then click your chosen target of the recon mission and click a place on the map to set it as the recovery area, the place where you will pick up our returning planes. In this case, I suggest selecting our vessel's current location, sir. Click confirm to complete the plan. The preparations for the mission are complete, Admiral. You can now close the map. We are ready to launch the mission. Hover over the highlighted recon icon in the Ready section of the missions panel and click the launch icon. The airman will depart shortly.
Stand by to start engine.
Go on, babe. Go on. There he goes. Go on, buddy. You can do it.
The mission has begun. You can observe its progress by opening the tactical map view, sir. To track the progress of a particular mission, hover the mouse cursor over the relevant icon in the missions panel below. Now we must wait for their mission report. As always, Admiral, you can speed up the passage of time by using the time speed controls. The Reconnaissance mission report has been received, sir. It was merely a group of whales. No adversaries were found. We must now prepare the deck for the recovery of our returning aircraft. Please click confirm to close the report and then close the tactical map.
Alrighty.
Click the deck management icon above. As you can see, the deck is currently in the launching state. Click the recovery icon on the left of the panel to prepare the carrier for when aircraft returning from a mission are ready to land. The missions icon will appear in the recovery section of the panel below. Hover over the highlighted icon to open the panel and then click the recover button.
Where are my planes? Am I doing this too fast? This is underneath.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Oh. I'm silly.
The mission was completed successfully, sir. Click the deck management icon again and set the deck state back to launching to prepare for further missions.
Prepare for launching.
We have received information regarding another potential target. Admiral, I'll run through the reconnaissance process again. Hover over the recon mission icon below, click the prepare button, then set the mission's target and recovery area in the tactical map view, followed by clicking confirm. Use the missions panel below to launch the mission. Later, set the deck state to recovery and recover the aircraft as before.
Okay.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff. Start engines. Stand by to recover aircraft.
Okay. There we go.
Our airmen discovered enemy vessels nearby. We need to determine the fleet's strength and makeup before engaging it in combat. First, open the deck management menu and change the state back to launching. An identified target's mission can then be prepared and launched in much the same way as a recon mission.
Launch aircraft.
Destroyer in the submarine spotted.
Respot the deck. Prepare for recovery. Stand by to recover aircraft.
The mission report contained all the information we needed about the composition. Click the meteorology room, Admiral. There, you can set the switch to add 1x airstrike mission. Now, you can use the deck management panel to set the deck to its launching state, sir.
Launch.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
When there are no crew units assigned to the air department, we can only manage 3 as we require 5 squadrons for the airstrike. We need to assign 2 crew units to the air department. The unit is on its way, sir. Now you can assign another.
Alrighty. Billion body loader.
We have the personnel we need for our strike. Let's return to the ship. Prepare an airstrike mission using the panel below, sir. Once you have selected our target, we can prepare our attack strategy. This is the menu for preparing our attack strategy, Admiral. A strategy comprises a set of 5 maneuvers. each represented by a card. There are 3 different types of maneuver: offensive, red; defensive, blue; and supportive, green. You can switch between these categories by clicking the tabs to the left of the cards. For this assault, sir, I recommend that we place the offensive maneuver, Anvil Attack, in slot number 1. Slot number 5 would be an ideal place for a defensive maneuver, Jinking. As we require more defense, I suggest allocating supportive maneuver Strike from the Sun to slot number 2. If you approve of my recommendations, Admiral, please click the Confirm button. As always, we need to specify the recovery area where our airmen will wait for pickup. For the purposes of this mission, I suggest clicking the current location of our fleet. Now click Confirm, sir. Next, we need to return to the deck and prepare our squadrons for the mission. We already have the necessary dive bombers on deck. In addition, we need 3 more squadrons for this engagement: 1 of fighter aircraft and 2 of torpedo bombers. Once they are ready, the mission can be launched.
Torpedo bomber squadron on the deck.
Fighter aircraft.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Start engine.
There we go.
Now we have to wait for the outcome of the attack. When the report comes in, you can click the play button to watch the events unfold. We must recover our planes upon their return. Remember to change the deck state to recovery so that they can land, sir.
Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing. Respot the deck. Prepare for launching. Respot the deck. Prepare for recovery. Stand by to recover aircraft.
We have been made aware of yet another target to reconnoiter, Admiral. I suggest that we launch a recon mission to determine what's there. Go to the island to set the appropriate switch, change the deck state to launching, and then launch the mission.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
Time to work.
Okay. There we go.
Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing.
Launch. There we go.
Respot the deck. Prepare for launching. Launch aircraft. Respot out the deck. Prepare for recovery. Stand by to recover aircraft.
The report states that it's an enemy base, sir. We must thoroughly identify the targets within the base before we can strike.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff. Start engines. Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing. Stand by to recover aircraft.
We have identified the composition of the base, so we can prepare an airstrike. In the strategy menu, you can see that the enemy has blocked one of our offensive maneuvers, so we must consider other options.
Better get to it.
How did that go again?
I have an idea, sir.
There we go.
Let's place jinking in slot number 1. As you can see from the description on the card, this maneuver boosts maneuvers in slots number 1 and number 5. I would then recommend placing the strike from the sun maneuver in slot number 3. Please note the summaries in the boxes below, sir. These provide information about the current configuration of our strategy, such as its outcome. As you can see, our current strategy will ensure the safe return of our pilots and the total destruction of the enemy base. If you approve, sir, please confirm the strategy and set the recovery area on the tactical map. The mission will then be ready to launch.
Stand by to start engine.
Alright, speed this up.
Now we've just got to wait to recover our planes. There. Something else I'd like to mention, Admiral. In this case, we were able to draw up a strategy to defeat the enemy with one airstrike. But this is not always possible. When organizing our strategy, we can select a particular target within a base or fleet, represented by a card shown on the right side of the strategy menu, to select it for attack. This way, we can destroy the targets one by one over a number of airstrikes.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
Final tutorial, I think. There's 3 of them, right? Yeah, 3. 3.
Admiral, we have received word of an imminent enemy airstrike. We need to boost our defenses. The carrier's defenses are measured in defense points. Shown on our strike group's escort ships share a separate defense value. To increase these values, we can increase both our defense values by assigning personnel to the anti-aircraft department, 1 point per crew unit. Drag and drop a crew unit there now. The number of available slots in the department can be upgraded later, sir. We can now exit this menu, sir. Ordering our ship's escort to assume a defensive formation will also increase both of our defense values. This can be achieved by launching a defensive position order. Select this order from the orders list, assign yourself to the task admiral, and then confirm the order. In the island view, we can send an officer to the Combat Information Center to set the switch to Add 1 times CAP mission, enabling a combat air patrol mission.
Ready, sir!
You must now enter the deck view at position 2 squadrons of fighter aircraft on the deck to prepare the CAP mission. Remember that you can see the planes required for a mission by hovering over its icon below, sir. Launch the mission, and you'll see both our carriers and escorts' defense values increase by 2 points. Next, sir, I recommend another defensive action that can be executed from the island. The switch we want to set is in the pilot briefing room. In this room, you can set the switch to add +1 carry. We are almost ready, sir. We can also use the active ability. Click the Heavy Cruisers Play button. 2 options will appear for this ship's active ability. 1, to raise our... Excellent, Admiral. We are now in a much better position to defend against enemy attacks. You can click the incoming enemy button above the radar to see the approaching forces. Observe the value of the enemy's attack strength in comparison to our carrier's defense. We must now wait to see how the battle unfolds.
That's a lot of points. They're attacking us.
Well done. Sir. We successfully repelled the attack. However, our defense values have decreased. Some of the effects of the measures we took to raise our defenses were temporary, having been put to use, like the CAP mission, or worn off over time. Hover over the carrier's defense meter in the crew management menu. You will see to repair the ship faster, we need to assign as many men to damage control, DC, as we can, sir. The more units we have in that department, the greater each DC's team efficiency will be. Enter the crew management menu. As always, we must wait for the units to take their positions in DC. Once we have enough personnel assigned to DC, we'll have an effective workforce ready to deal with damage and malfunctions. Once they are in position, close the menu to return to the deck, Admiral. We can form one damage control team from the island. To do so, you must first move an officer to the highlighted navigation room.
My way. Awaiting orders.
Alright, it can't do nothing until they get up there. Run, Captain, run!
From here, you can enable Add 1 times DC Team, which adds an additional... With our DC teams in place, repairs can begin. There's been a malfunction in the engine section, Admiral. To assign the DC teams to repair this, click one of their portraits in the damage control panel and select Malfunction Repair, represented by a cogwheel icon. Excellent. Now we need to wait for the malfunction to be fixed. Sir, a fire broke out in the hangar. We must assign one of our teams to firefighting duties. Just in time. DC is dealing with the fire. Water has breached the helm section, Admiral. To pump out the water, a DC team must be assigned to deflooding duties, represented by the droplet icon. Teams to pump it out. Our men in DC are dealing with this, sir. We just need to wait for them to finish pumping out the water. As well as assigning tasks to DC teams, you can also take direct control over their actions. To enable, there is already an officer in the navigation room. In there, you can set the switch to the function labeled. Some of our crew have been injured, sir. Click the highlighted event icon to see. While injured crew will receive first aid from DC teams assigned to medical duties in the damage control panel, you can also tend to them quickly by sending a DC team directly to the segment marked with the cross icon. Select the DC team from the panel and then click the segment where they are needed. We must not delay, sir. We were able to save our injured shipmates, sir. Had we not reached them in time, they would still be alive, but in mortal danger. The unit's portrait in the crew management menu would then be marked with a red background and the time remaining until their deaths. Open the crew management menu, and to make the medical department operational, you need to move an available crew unit there. The highlighted slot in the unassigned crew units panel, marked with a cross symbol, represents space. The unit will be inactive for a while, but they will recover. Another enemy airstrike is imminent, Admiral. We survived the attack, but the carrier sustained significant damage. You must coordinate the repairs, sir. Below deck. Sir, damage control is needed. There is a fire below deck. Sir, damage control is needed.
Awaiting orders. On our way. On your command. Aye, aye. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. On our way. Aye, aye. Ready. Yes, sir. Aye, aye. On our way. On your command. Aye, aye. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Aye, aye. Can't do that, sir. On your command. Negative. On our way. Ready. Awaiting orders. Aye, aye.
Tutorial is done. We're doing the campaign now. Hell yeah. Alrighty, looks like I can do quite a bit. Okay. Let's do... defensive position, enhanced radar. Best defense is a good offense, and that's why we need to stay in the fight.
Hard work is what keeps the ship moving.
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 I'm an old ass man. Here.
Wake Island has just been attacked by the Japanese Navy, Admiral. There is a White House official on the island, visiting our base there. We cannot get to him while the island is under fire, so we need to find the exact location of the enemy carrier attacking the base and destroy it. Once that has been dealt with, we will have a short space of time within which to carry out the rescue. You must launch a rescue mission to the base, where our men will take the VIP on board for a safe return to our carrier.
Alrighty. Go ahead.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck.
Fighters.
Issue a dive bomber squadron on the deck. Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Launch aircraft.
They're a bit close. I don't like that.
Time to work. Full focus now, awaiting orders.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck.
Fighter squadrons up.
Issue a fighter squadron on the deck. Start engine.
Get out of here.
Clear the flight deck. A plane is approaching landing.
Alrighty, that was aircraft carrier survival. A tiny little bit of it. Got through the tutorial mainly. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments below. Alright, been moving. Recover.
Stand by to recover aircraft.
I was doing my outro. Chase. Go away.
Clear the flight deck and prepare for takeoff.
Alright. Doesn't take much.
Stand by to start engine.
Good detective. Things are gonna get real interesting really fast. Till then, all crews man battle stations.